So I'm actually being
You're
arrested.
going to be arrested, okay?
Right.
Take you back to the police station.
Right.
Ask you, okay, this is in relation to some comments that you've made on a Facebook page. Okay?
Oh, really? Oh, it's a Facebook crime, is it?
Okay.
Right.
So,
In England, they're giving new meaning to the term Facebook jail. So, on the 4th of August, 2024, an elderly gentleman in England was arrested for making comments on Facebook. Under Section 127 of the Communications Act of 2003 over in England, a person is guilty of an offense if he sends by means of public electronic communications network a message or other matter that is grossly offensive or of an indecent, obscene, or menacing character. A person guilty of an offense under this section shall be liable on summary conviction to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 6 months, or a fine not exceeding level 5 on standard scale, or both.
But I'm going to be
we've had
arrested for
reports that
posting on
you've made
Facebook.
some comments that are offensive, obscene, and people have made a complaint about that, and it's transferred.
And
they've
can
come
you-
from
can you
a
tell me what
Facebook
this
account
comment
in your
was?
name.
We'll do
Okay,
that
well,
in
we'll
an
do that when
interview.
we interview you.
All right.
In England right now, there are literally riots going on in the streets, and yet people are being arrested because of their comments online. This is absolutely insane, especially to someone who lives over here in America, because we're used to having our First Amendment protections. But how long will that last here in America? Our current woke society is always looking for ways to be offended by things. First of all, let's understand a little bit about the history of the First Amendment. In 1788, the Constitution of the United States was up for ratification by the states, and there was extreme danger that Virginia would not ratify the Constitution, which was considered to be essential for its support. The reason for the resistance against the Constitution in Virginia was because of the Baptists. Such a large portion of the population had come to Baptist beliefs that it was impossible to get that state's support without the support of the Baptist churches. The leading preacher at that time was a man by the name of John Leland. James Madison, who is sometimes called the father of the U.S. Constitution, went to meet with John Leland and discuss some of the concerns that he had over the new Constitution. The main sticking point that the Baptists had was that there was no Bill of Rights guaranteeing freedom to the people of America. In particular, there was no guarantee of religious freedom in America. As a result of that conversation, Leland persuaded Madison to insist on a Bill of Rights that would be added to the Constitution as the first amendments to that document, and the first of which had to include complete freedom and liberty of conscience in religious matters. It's what we've come to know as the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, that guarantees freedom of religion, freedom of the press, and freedom of speech. Those freedoms are under threat worldwide right now, not only in England, but even here in America. There are constantly rumblings of restricting freedom of speech, and on some platforms it can be very difficult to get your message across if you hold views contrary to those who manage those platforms. In 2 Timothy 3:1, the Bible says, "This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come." And then it goes on to describe those perilous times, just exactly what's going on and how terrible it is. You don't have to be a Bible scholar to see that we are living in perilous times and in the last days. We need to pray for the brethren over in places like England and make sure that we're exercising our right to free speech here in America and around the world. The rights that were given to us in the U.S. Constitution were not meant to be rights given by the government. These were innate rights that God gave to every person that's born into this world. Governments may try to restrict those rights, but they are God-given and we need to insist on them. George Washington said, "If freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent we may be led like sheep to the slaughter." Freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and freedom of religion are under assault today, and we need to speak out and stand up for what's right. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances.